Stories in today's video. 1. Update. My 24F boyfriend, 26M, has a long-time female friend who's clearly into him and I don't know what I should do. 2. Update. I, 22M, suspect something between my girlfriend, 22F, and my friend, 21M. We all live together. Am I imagining things? 3. Update. My 29M, former FWB, 25F, claims to be pregnant. Feel sick, don't know what to believe. After reading the comments, I decided to just bring it up with him without telling him what I want him to do, to avoid sounding controlling. I sat him down and told him that some of the stuff that she says really makes me uncomfortable. I told him that I feel like she's undermining our relationship. I gave him a few examples of the stuff she said and done that I didn't appreciate. He still doesn't think she's into him. He's convinced that she's acting this way because she probably feels like they're drifting apart as friends because he's in a serious relationship now. Which frustrated me a little tbh because it's clear to me that she wants him but being subtle about it. He said that regardless of her intentions, if her actions are making me uncomfortable, he'll have a talk with her about it. I was really happy he said that, because I was really nervous and anxious to see how he'll react. I was afraid he'll take her side. He can be a dummy sometimes, so I was worried that he'd bring it up with her in the wrong way. Like saying, my girlfriend doesn't want us talking anymore, and stuff like that, but he nailed it. He told her in a text, dude, I noticed some of the stuff you've been saying in front of my girlfriend lately and I've been wanting to talk to you about it. It's mad disrespectful and uncomfortable. We're cool, but just stop that ***T. Naturally, she acted all innocent and confused. She was like, what? You know I'd never do anything that would upset you. I think you're misunderstanding, and stuff like that. He doubled down on it though. I could tell he felt somewhat guilty telling her off like that, and I don't know if he's convinced that she's trying to undermine our relationship or not, but I'm so glad that he had my back in this. I'm honestly kind of glad this whole thing happened. It gave me a better idea of what kind of man he really is. He even said he'll stop hanging out with her alone if it makes me feel uncomfortable. He was also low-key mad at me for waiting this long to tell him I was uncomfortable around her. Safe to say that the best possible outcome happened. He really put her in her place, and NGL, it made me feel real good. All I could think of was, I won. LMAO. Thanks to everyone for encouraging me to tell him, because even though I knew that's what I should have done, I was still scared to do it for some reason. I even thought about potentially just avoiding her for good. Which sounds ridiculous now that I think about it, because I shouldn't have to hide from her. I guess I'm just not good at confrontations. Thanks for the helpful advice, everyone. TLDR, I told my boyfriend that his friend's actions were making me uncomfortable because she's clearly into him and she's undermining our relationship. He let her know that she has to stop and totally had my back during the whole thing. All in all, everything turned out pretty great. Great. A lot of you requested an update to my original. The majority of you suggested that I speak to Brooke and/or attempt to walk in on the act. I decided on doing both. Sunday night everyone was back in the apartment. I had every intention of speaking to Brooke about the neighbor's comment alone, but before I could, she said something that completely threw my theory off. She told Derek to get to bed so he wouldn't be tired for work in the morning. What? I knew Derek has a job on campus, but he had always worked the same night shifts. Being as casual as possible, I inquired how long he'd been working mornings and when he started. He said he picked up the extra shifts a month ago and worked at 9. I leave at 7:45, so it's possible for me not to have noticed that. I spent the rest of the night trying to figure out whether he was lying about that, whether still he had some mornings here at home, whether Alexis could be seeing someone other than Derek in the mornings, like some of you suggested, or, again, if I was just a paranoid loser. I went to bed feeling emotionally drained and confused. The next morning I left for CL**SSES as usual and operated on autopilot. I alternated between thinking I'd run home to check on Alexis and thinking I had way too much work to run around based on a theory that I wasn't even sure about anymore. In the end, I walked out of my first CL**SS and straight to my car to go home. In a weird way, I sort of wish I hadn't. When I got to the apartment, Derek's car wasn't there, just Alexis's. I walked to the apartment with my heart pounding all sorts of crazy. I don't know what I was expecting. Outside the apartment door, I could immediately hear a guy's voice inside. I heard him talking and laughing and a soft feminine mumble replying and giggling back. I've been on this subreddit long enough to see all the different reactions people have to this situation. I never once contemplated what I'd do. I pressed my ear to the door and see if I could make out what they were saying, but I could only make out a word here and there. There was a lot of giggling. Then, I heard the sound of Alexis being tickled and shrieking. Maybe I should have waited more. In retrospect, I wish I did, but I couldn't take it. As soon as I started fiddling with my keys, it was dead silence in there. She was F*** King Mark. I never mentioned Mark in the previous post, but he's one the guys in the apartment next to us, not the one that tipped me off. He's the only one I never liked. Fucking know-it-all douchebag attitude. Always made inappropriate comments towards both girls. Never thought anything of it. As soon as I opened the door, they both gave me a deer in headlights look that removed any naive doubt I may have retained that the situation was innocent. I was planning on yelling at them or demanded answers, but, and this is FC King Ember SSING, my eyes began to well with tears. I didn't want them to see that SH*T. So I said, nice. Real F*** King nice. And bolted back to my car. I heard Alexis yelling my name in the hallway and picked up the pace. I sort of expected her to be chasing me, but by the time I got to the car there was no one following me. I drove to a park that's near the apartment and sat there in disbelief. My first thought, weirdly enough, was * how is my family going to take this? What the hell am I going to tell them? * my family F*** King loved Alexis. They joked about our wedding and regularly called her part of the family. Then I started thinking about living arrangements. Our finals end in about 2 weeks, there's no way I can handle moving now. I'm applying to an extremely competitive graduate program and I can't let anything get in the way of that. Definitely not this cheating bitch. I'm writing this from a friend's house. I explained the situation, he explained it to his parents and they welcomed me to stay in their home. I'm going to have to go back home to get some clothes sometime. I'm planning on going during this lab period. I know Alexis can't skip tomorrow. It took her an hour or so to start wing up my phone, but once she did it didn't stop. She started off asking me to come home so she could explain. Before I even had the chance to respond, she sent another one begging me to come back because she was having an anxiety attack, something I always help her through. Maybe I'm heartless, but all I could think was * good, you earned it *. There was a pause and then she sent, I don't know why you get so jealous, we were just hanging out. I waited. She sent, look, I know it looks super sketchy, believe me if I were you I'd think the same thing, but we didn't do anything. He needed advice on his girl problems. You have to believe me. No, I don't. Normally I would have gotten a weird sense of satisfaction watching a cheater scramble to cover their *SS, but my stupid brain just kept replaying all these great times we had together and wondering if she was cheating then too. I want to know when this started, but at the same time I'm worried it's been going on for longer than the month I've suspected something. I received a text later that night from a number I didn't recognize. It was the nice dude from next door. He said, paraphrasing because it was a long text, that he got my number from Derek. He was extremely sorry for what I was going through and that he would have told me sooner, but he wasn't completely sure. He said he knew his friend was seeing a girl with a boyfriend, but didn't put it together until he learned the girl's name. As many of you suspected, the comment was him trying to tip me off. So yeah, I guess he's bro of the year. I don't think Derek and Brooke know yet. I haven't texted them. I haven't found the words. I know it's going to turn our living arrangement and friendships upside down. I guess I should message them before Alexis paints a different picture. I wonder what the cool neighbor said when he asked for my number. I don't think he told them, they would have said something. Right? Unless they took her side. Then I've lost my girlfriend and friends. Any advice on coping with something like this, especially from those who have been there before, please let me know. I don't have many friends to reach out to besides the guy I'm staying with. Alexis, Brooke and Derek were basically my family. Alexis and I had talked about spending our lives together. I have never been serious about a girl the way I was with her. Edit. I am seriously moved by the amount of support you guys are giving me here. Please keep them coming. I may not reply to all the comments, but I've read each one on both posts. I'm going to tell Derek and Brooke soon. I'll try to do a follow-up when I have some sort of plan. Asterisk asterisk TLDR asterisk asterisk she was cheating, but it wasn't with Derek. My original post was just over a year ago, and it's finally time for an update. Link to original TLDR, former FWB who lives in a different country says she's pregnant and keeping the kid. Don't know what to do. Advice please. At the time, lots of you saw many red flags that I didn't and you were pretty sure she wasn't actually pregnant. You were right, she wasn't. After telling her I'd only continue talking to her when there was a paternity test, she initially agreed. She then made up more stories about hospital visits, problems with the pregnancy and got angry that I wasn't being supportive. I held my ground and told her I wouldn't communicate further until the paternity test was done. About a week later, she finally admitted it. It had all been a lie to get my attention. I sent her a message asking her to get help and never contact me again. Blocked her everywhere. That was over a year ago, and I've had occasional messages from other numbers since then, either asking for forgiveness or getting angry with me for not offering forgiveness. I generally ignored them, though she did get in my head once by sending a message that she was so worried she'd damaged me and I replied telling her that I'd moved on and forgave her. About 2 months ago, she texted saying she was visiting the city I live in and wanted to meet up for a chat. I ignored it and blocked the number. Didn't think much of it. Then, 1 month ago, while I was on holiday, the receptionist at my work sent me a text. Someone had enrolled in a course in the where I teach who was asking about me. 27-year-old Russian. Holy sh*t, it was her. I had to tell my manager the story and she agreed to me taking some extra holiday and working remotely to avoid any unpleasant situation. I received a few texts from her, telling me she had enrolled in that school by coincidence, no chance, and finally one to congratulate me on avoiding my idea of hell. Her course finished last week and I found out from some social media stalking that she's now in another city. I hope, that's the end of the story. Thanks for the help Reddit. TLDR my ex wasn't pregnant. 1 year later she traveled to my city and enrolled in a course to try to see me.